scared. Stop. I'm scared. Hello, my name is Aldo Pradipta Tarigan. My student ID number is 2409200014, and I'm from the Catholic University of Santo Tomas Medan. Exiles from the future. The Lambert family had endured more than any ordinary family could imagine. For months, they had lived under the shadow of fear, believing that the nightmare housing their son Dalton had finally ended. After George Lambert risked his life to enter a ghostly dimension known as the future and brought his son back from the brink between life and death, this seemed possible again. They moved into Lorian's old Victorian house, hoping that new walls and familiar faces would shelter them from the memories they refused to fade. At first, everything appeared calm. Dalton returned to school, his laughter filled the rooms once again, and Rina began to play the piano in the evenings. Yet beneath the fragile signs of normalcy, some things ancient stirred. One night, as Rina was tucking Dalton into bed, she heard the faint sounds of the piano playing by itself in the living room. The melody was one she had not played in years. When she went downstairs, the cats were still moving, though no one sat at the beds. Her heart pounded as she whispered her husband's name, but Josh did not answer. Strange occurrences began to multiply. Lights flickered, door created open, and whispering voice exhaled through the baby monitor. At first, Rena tried to convince herself that it was exhaustion or stress. But soon the whispers turned into cries, and the baby's room grew unbearably cold at night. One morning, she found an old photograph of Josh as a child. Behind him, half hidden in the blur of the background, stood the faint outline of a figure in black, watching him. The figure seemed closer than it should have been. Meanwhile, Lorian, Joe's mother, could not ignore the unease that filled her home. She sought the help of her old accusation test, Spitz and Tucker, paranormal investigators who had once worked with the late Alice Rainer. Together, they tracked down Alice's former partner, Carl, a quick man with a gift for communicating with spirits. Through a sense, they uncovered a dark truth long buried in the vaults of Josh's past. As a boy, Josh had been followed by a spirit known as the Bride in Black. The ghost was once a man named Parker Crane, forced by his cruel mother to live as a woman. Parker had grown up broken and tormented, committing tribal acts before taking his own life. His spirit had never found peace and had attacked itself to young Josh, waiting for an opportunity to live again through him. Unaware of this, Renai noticed her husband growing changed. Jas had become distinct, his voice colder and his temper fractioning. His once kind eyes now reflected something dark and unfamiliar. When she comforted him about the strange happenings, he brushed them aside, insisting that she was imagining things. But in the quick of night, when everyone was asleep, those would stare into mirrors as if arguing with someone unseen. His reflection did not always move in sync with him. The truth was horrifying. The real Josh was still trapped inside the feudal, wandering among lost souls while Parker Crane's spirit had taken possession of his body in the living world. Within that airy realm, Josh's soul was weakening, surrounded by phantoms that whispered his name and tried to claim him forever. Guided by Alice's spirit, Lorraine and Carl entered the feudal to bring Josh back. The air was thick with fog, and the ground trembled with the weight of restless spirits. They passed shady corridors and exhausts of forgotten memories until they found Josh, desperate and exhausted, calling out for his family. Together with Alice's help, Josh confronted the spirit of Parker Crane. A violent struggle ensued, like a shadow twisting around them. In the physical world, Dalton sensed his father's cry and entered the feudal once again to help him. With their combined strength, father and son broke Parker's hold, forcing the thankful ghost into oblivion. Josh's soul returned to his body, and the family awoke to a morning filled with silence. For the first time in the months, the house was calm. The visitors were gone. The piano stayed still, and sunlight filtered through the windows. And I held her husband's hand, believing their nightmare had finally ended. Yet somewhere beyond sight, Alice turned toward a corner of darkness and gasped, her eyes wide with fear. Something else was there, waiting patiently, as if the story of the Lambert had only just begun. I think this story is an exceptionally good and terrifying horror narrative, successfully delivering a fresh and stack on the classic haunted house or possession premise. Due to its near perfect execution in constructing fear, it earns a 9 out of 10 score. Thank you. Bye bye.
I'm scared. Nine. Very well, very good.